Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello, here we are, and a show called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's been a great day so far. It's episode 1974. I started kindergarten there for sure. It was great. I got gold stars for doing nothing, just tying my shoes. That was hard. Tying shoes, oh gosh, it took me a while. I was a slow learner there.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That was complicated. But it's good to be on the show today because, well, I missed one yesterday.
Mike's
I was ill.
Daily
I was illin'
Podcast.
because of, let's see, I got to sleep in. You would think sleeping in would allow you to feel great and invigorated and all set for the day. But in fact, it made me quite ill. I guess I had delayed drinking coffee. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm addicted to coffee. There was a time where I tried to only drink decaf. Actually, about 10 or 15 years I drank decaf. And then I realized I don't even understand why I'm drinking decaf because, yes, I love the coffee flavor, but the whole gestalt about coffee is that it gets you going. It's got that caffeine in it. And then there's the coffee culture. And I mean, yes. So I was having back problems. And I was blaming the coffee on my back problems because when I stopped drinking coffee, apparently it went away. But a little bit later on, I discovered you need to do sit-ups. You need to engage your core. Now, I don't like sit-ups, so I don't really do them. But what I do is I'll hang from a bar or from a ledge. I'll be hanging off of a ledge. It sounds like I'm doing some kind of scary stunt in a movie, hanging off a ledge. No, there are these little beams that I can grab onto where I live.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Basically an area where you would do a pull-up is what I'm trying to say. A bar that allows you to do a pull-up. Or if you can grab onto something that can do a pull-up. In the Bay Area, we are blessed in and amongst all the crap that we have to deal with, like high taxes and people breaking into our cars constantly. And then the horrible homeless problem and the nonstop graffiti everywhere. Graffiti used to be art. Now it's just crap. And so, kids, crap, remember what we talked about? Okay, good. We cleared that all up because this show is... That's right, Basil. It's kid-rated. Yes, Basil's saying, hi, kids. I want to nibble on your arm a little bit even though I don't have teeth anymore. But the thing is that we are blessed in that we have a lot of park courses around. We have these little pull-up bars everywhere. So we can go, hey, I'm going to work out. And you go over and you can do some pull-ups and stuff. But when I'm doing I'll try and do a pull-up. And then I'll hang there, even though I'm 6'1", whatever the appropriate way is to say that. 6'1", and I'm hanging there. And I will, using my stomach, bring up my legs, my knees up as high as they can go. And I'll do that a couple of times. And that is my way of trying to engage my core. I need to do a lot more in that area. We all do. The ones that have those super amazing six-pack stomachs, I don't know exactly how healthy that is. I mean, that's just for looks, basically. That one day they woke up and they went, bro, I want to have a six-pack. I'm going to go to the gym and get a six-pack. Well, you could just go down to the liquor store and get a six-pack, but you have to, I don't know how good that is. The important thing is engaging your core because it helps your back. Because as soon as I started really focusing on trying to get my stomach muscles stronger, my back issues started to go away. Of course, you can do sit-ups in such a way that you hurt your back. And I am not a professional in this area. I'm just giving you a little bit of a tip there. But hey, this podcast now, I think I've changed it does give you a little bit of advice, but also we want to be a little philosophical here and about life and dig into the issues that make us all. Well, for example, this is what I want to talk about, is how we go nuts over health at the beginning of the year. Absolutely. Just, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. And then by February, we're done. February, we get all full of all the other stuff, taxes and everything else that we have to deal with. But it is okay. So my lovely lady friend, speaking of, I'm going to make changes. She's got a storage unit and she's saying, I don't want to use it anymore. It costs me $80 or more a month. I don't really need it's a small storage space. I don't really need the stuff that's in there. I'm going to get rid of it and I'm going to save $80 a month. Excellent idea. Brilliant. Bravo. And she went in yesterday and threw out a bunch of stuff. Here's the thing. So she goes in and she did it super fast. Let's see. I think it was like from 11 o'clock till about 2. And you know, I mean, with me, that would have taken twice as long at least, because I go through stuff and I'm like, can I use this? Can I recycle this in some way? She went in and said, I don't care. It goes in the trash. She threw out CDs. When she told me this last night, I just about cried. I go, you threw away music? You threw away CDs? Do you know how many hours I have spent in CD stores? Not CDs, CD stores, but CD, compact disc music stores. I have bought so many compact discs in my life. And that all ended, I think the last compact disc I bought, I was pressured into buying because somebody said, there's so-and-so's having a Cinco de Mayo party and we need mariachi music. So the last CD I bought, I actually helped out some local band that's a mariachi band. I bought their CD, hopefully gave them a little bit of money. And that was my last purchase. But she threw out all these CDs, threw them in a dump. By the way, it's in the dump at the Bayfair Mall, over by the whatever that shoe store is that they have at the Bayfair Mall. If you're looking for a bunch of CDs, she said it wasn't that many, but it sounds like a lot of classic 90s stuff. Your Alanis Morissette, Sarah McLachlan, even I think Morcheeba was in there. And when she told me she threw out Morcheeba, I just about cried because I don't have any Morcheeba. But you threw out Morcheeba? I could have listened to your Morcheeba CD. So if you're looking for that, any of those CDs, you can find them in the dumpster somewhere in the Bayfair Mall. You got to get there soon, though. I don't know when they take their dumpage. Which, by the way, I don't know if exactly that's legal or not. Okay, so if it isn't legal, I'll just tell you right now, she did not do that. It's a podcast, Kappa. You can't pin this on me, Kappa. This didn't happen, Kappa. Yeah, I don't even have a girlfriend. It's all made up. Just like this wonderful cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley 10 today, the last place on earth. I think it was illegal. It was a legal dumpage thing. She got an okay from the people there. Get off my back. At any rate, I am not into... But sometimes you got to throw it all out, is what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to... I say recycle. I told her over and over again, you should take it to a recycle place. You could take it to a thrift store. You could take it... No, I'm just going to throw it out because it's cathartic that way. No. I disagree with that 100%, and I've told her that. And so there it is. But I applaud her for getting rid of stuff. And that extra step of finding a place to recycle it at, that takes away from the catharsis because you want to just get rid of it fast. And like I said, she did it. She went through all this stuff in 3 hours, basically, and did it super fast. Had she done it my way, probably would have taken about 6. But what are your thoughts on this? You can call me 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast will try to be. Oh, wait, I'm off tomorrow. Shoot. Maybe it won't be. Hey, by the way, I got a new smartphone. I got this. I hate Apple products. I've said this over and over again. The reason why I love Samsung or any Android device is they allow you to get into your My Files folder and move stuff around. In an Apple phone, you're given limited storage space, Whereas in a Samsung phone, you can add your disc, which, by the way, this little tiny chip thing, I've had this for 10 years, and it is compatible with this new phone, which shows you how fantastic Samsung is. It allows you to do that. And one other thing that I like about it is that so I can go and see iTunes. If you want to do anything, you got to go through their store. You got to pay for it. You got to download iTunes onto all your computers. Some people just they've drank the apple Kool-Aid, delicious apple Kool-Aid, and it actually wouldn't be that delicious unless they added a little maybe some cinnamon to the apple Kool-Aid. That'd be kind of good. But it's all Apple. Everything I have is Apple. I don't trust anything else but Apple, but everything else gets viruses except for Apple, which is not true. So, to sum up, I got this new Samsung phone, and Samsung is really trying to take up more of the phone with things like Bixby, which a lot of people online are, Bixby, it's so annoying. Bixby is the little serious, it's kind of a serious, kind of an Alexa deal, where you can tell it to do stuff, and a woman comes on, like, let's see, play Mike's Daily Podcast on Spotify. I'm on Spotify now, by the way. So let's see if it'll do it. It's later in the day because it got kind of hectic. There I am. Soon after that. And Basil. Basil's having a great time. Yes, at Podcaster Valley. Yeah. There you go. Now I'm on Spotify, as you probably knew or didn't know. And if you want to listen to me on Alexa, all you have to do is say, play Mike's Daily Podcast. It's super easy. And I think if you have your iTunes enabled, I will pop up there. I'm trying to get this show on radio.com, by the way. Entercom. Anybody over at Entercom? Entercom, please listen. I want Mike's Daily Podcast on your platform. You don't make it easy to get podcasts on your platform. So someone, if you know how to get onto radio.com, that's fine. That'd be awesome. 3 + 3 = 6 MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6 MM is a Mike Matthews Daily, isn't what this podcast will try to be. Happy New Year. Happy Chinese New Year, isn't it? And happy Grammy Awards. That's tomorrow night. Taylor Swift will not be at the Grammy Awards. She is boycotting it. No, I don't know if she's boycotting it, but she's just come out with some documentary all about her eating disorders and her very difficult life. It's difficult being white and blonde in America, apparently. Which, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, one of the actors that was in her You Need to Calm Down video, I forget who it was, but he's gay, and Taylor Swift called him up and said, look, I want you to be in this You Need to Calm Down video, which talks about, how it's anti-gay bashing and all that. And she said, I need you to come in to this and be on this video because I need to cash in some of my clout and actually make a statement, is what this actor said. I forget who it was. But that's great. Great for Taylor Swift. For a long time, she kept quiet, probably because of the Scooter Braun and all those other people telling her, shh, don't say, just be beautiful. Just be a pretty blonde girl and sing your songs, and all the teenage girls will follow you and everything will be cool. It'll be cool in the school. But then she said, nah, I'm going to speak out. And now she's exposing her life and her tough times. It's tough to be a star. And I probably will watch this dang thing. Dang it, Netflix. You got me again. So that, as Mike's Daily Podcast, is what this is show today. Covering things like that and about why are we so sad about pretty girl problems? Pretty girl problems. Oh, I'd stop being a pretty girl. But still, there's something we can learn from that. I didn't get to say this during the Christmas season, but O Come All Ye Faithful Pentatonics is amazing. Just want to say, Pentatonics, I am not a fan of that Christmas doo-wop, what do you call it, a cappella type band. But when they did O Come All Ye Faithful, I was blown away. But this is becoming more and more the norm. Next Christmas season, you'll probably notice a lot of a cappella bands. What's the other one? Shaken Not Stirred or Straight No Chaser? Yeah, that's it. They do a great one with the 12 Days of Christmas. and Toto's Africa. Someone I know, was at a restaurant in West Hollywood that's got a bunch of gimmicks. When you're sitting there ordering food, the food comes to you sometimes like on a Ferris wheel. Sometimes it looks like a volcano. It's served in all these different ways. Is it called Brandon G's or something like that? And it's a kid-friendly restaurant that's extremely expensive. Over the top expensive. Desserts cost almost $200 a plate. Why are we wasting this money on our kids? These kids will not even care. When I was young, probably 9 or 10, I got to go to Alaska. And I remember everybody saying, why are we taking this kid to Alaska? He's not even going to remember it. I do remember it. I will say, I will stand up for myself. But I am an extremely unusual person in that I remember everything. And so, except for the name of the actor that Taylor Swift was talking to. But the fact is, I don't know if we should be spending that kind of money on kids. I don't know if that's some kind of thing that needs to be done. Instead, as someone who I've produced his show many times for actually a couple of years, Rob Black once said, take money that you would blow on your kids and teach them about investing. Hey, you really like Disney? Maybe you should invest in Disney, son or daughter. That's excellent advice. My dad tried to explain stocks to me when I was ever so young, and when he was talking, everything went over my head. And with that, I ended up not caring about investing or stocks. And that's detrimental, because we need to know about money at a young age and about what money can do for us and how it can hurt us. And we need to know all these things at a young age. And we oftentimes, it's tough to learn that at a young age and tough to teach that. So the podcast picture, by the way, I have buried the lead, haven't I? We kind of blew past Ariel announcing the podcast picture. It's my lovely lady friend and I. We were at the Richmond Marina last weekend, a week ago today, taking Basil for the walk. Basil not in this picture, but he was there. Actually, I'm holding him up. His back end, as you know, he cannot hold himself up. He cannot move his back legs very well. His front legs are fine, and so I was helping him in this picture. Though you can't see him, he is implied, and we heard him a little bit earlier in the podcast. So what do you think about all that? 336MM Daily, 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast will not be tomorrow, but we'll try next week. How about that? I'm also on Instagram, Mike's Daily Podcast on Instagram there, and you can find the website, of course, MikesDailyPodcast.com. But we're outside a cafe anyway. Let's say hi to some people out here now. Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega, and I love the whole story about the wine that was spilled into the Russian River. Oh, yes, several thousands of gallons were spilled into the Russian River. This winery close by had one of their containers the top popped off apparently, and pop a top again, and wine flowed everywhere. The wine flowed. No use crying over spilt. Oh yes, you must cry over spilt wine. That's expensive and lovely. Oh well, that happened. Madam, do you love wine? Yes. Do you love milk? Yes. Do you love milk wine? No. How about, what's it called? Liebermilch? What's the German wine? Milk, something milk is in it. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Or not. Look who else is here. Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I heard that you got a little bit frustrated with one of your employees there.
Yeah, employee. Do you know that? Yes. Yes, I manage some people, and if you're a manager, sometimes you go, what? Like you heard in the Mayhem podcast, I think that was the last podcast, that somebody just texted me out of the blue. Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to come in tonight. Sorry. Okay, that means the people that have worked 9 hours already have to stay another 3 hours because of you. They're going to get overtime, so thanks to you for that. But these are tired guys. You owe them a lot. You owe them a delicious hamburger, a delicious Liebermilch wine or something, for crying out loud. And then also, just how some people don't respect other people at work. I don't get that. I don't get how some people think they're above other people, that they should be respected, yet they bring nothing to the table. I've dealt with this my whole life and my whole working life. I don't understand that. People that demand respect, yet they do nothing that should be that they should be given respect for. That's what I'm saying. What's that about? These are philosophical questions we must ask in today's world. Did I mention, as I was getting on BART last year, this hasn't happened this year yet, thankfully, but as I was standing on the platform at the BART in Hayward, a pigeon flew into my head. Just popped me right on the side of the head. A pigeon. That was fun. Not as fun as every morning when I get on the bus that takes me to BART. This guy with white pants, red shoes. He's got long gray hair, and he stinks, reeks of cigarette smoke. I believe I have spoken about him before. I still cannot understand it. Now, lately, I have figured out precisely where he sits every time he gets on the bus. So since I get on the bus before him, I always arrange it that I sit way far in the back so I don't get anywhere near him and have to smell his cigarette stink. That's crazy. These things are crazy, aren't they? What do you think? 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM is a Mike Matthews Daily, isn't what this podcast has in the title name, though may not necessarily be. And here is Ariel to tell you more. Talk to you soon, hopefully.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
But before you go, don't forget that tomorrow morning and every Sunday morning, just about from 6 a.m. to noon, you can hear me on KKDV. That's 92.1 FM KKDV in the Contra Costa County area, or at kkdv.com, which I believe is also on the radio.com app, which I am not on, but I am on Spotify, and you can find out more about that at MikesDailyPodcast.com.